Today, we are privileged to have with us Ms. Shrutika Paralkar, a professional from HR domain, who brings valuable industry insights into people management and organizational growth. Her experience in HR field gives her a practical perspective on how human capital is not just about numbers but about impact. We are truly excited to learn from her and understand how HR shapes the future workflows.
Thank you so much. Hello Vidyalankar and hello everyone who is watching this and listening to this.
So the biggest topic in current atmosphere is AI has entered HR quietly through resume scanners, automated emails and interview scheduling. Until one day, it was shaping who even gets seen. What's one HR function AI has genuinely improved and one area where human judgment should never be replaced?
That's to be very honest, it's a fantastic question. While the question said that AI entered the world of HR quietly, I am not a fan of the statement. I think they made a much more buzz than required. Everybody, right from the playgrounds to a kindergarten, knew what AI is. Maybe way before they knew a ABCD, to be very honest. So they did quite a buzz there. Coming to a question where you ask one thing where AI should definitely not be replacing HR. Is exactly why HR was in place for the first time. It's the human intelligence, is the emotional intelligence. That's not something chatbots and AI is made to learn. Emotional intelligence, right? That's very human to us. So when it comes to making judgments through past experiences, your human experiences, your human interactions, your vulnerabilities, taking account of what situation is from an emotional intelligence standpoint, like layoffs, to be very honest, sometimes hiding critical talents is not something where you would be leveraging chatbots or AI for. So that's definitely one thing where you should not be leveraging AI. And coming to AI, where you should be looking at it. A lot of people in today's workshop also said that they're looking at AI as a threat. You know what? You should not be. If you think you are somebody who brings in value, AI is only here to make your job much more easier, much more simplified and save a lot of time for you. So look at the jobs that you can outsource. When I say outsource, were you investing time in doing those boring emails manually before? Give it to chatbots. That will save your time. Were you busy scanning those resumes one by one, reading through it, even if they fit the bill? Give that job to AI. Use AI for the right thing, like something which is redundant, something that really does not need a lot of judgment, human interventions, human intelligence. Give that job to AI and that we should be good.
That's nice. So it is human resources, not machine resources.
Absolutely. Ultimately, AI is a human-made at the end of the day.
So in workplaces today, we often see people who are clearly skilled and experienced, yet their work doesn't translate into visible impact or growth. Why do some talented employees fail to create impact despite having strong skills and experience?
Thank you so much again. I think that's the most relevant question. We had this session today itself, which talk about how human capital is very different from being a headcount on someone's organization sheet. And what we were talking extensively about, that human capital is not just about skills and what you see on the resume of a human being, right? What human capital exactly is the mindset that you bring in. So the question that you're asking, what actually differentiate between the two people with maybe same education qualification, with the same skill set on the resume, or maybe somebody with the same kind of, profile or a role, is the fact that how different their mindset looks like. Let's say you are great in Excel and you want to add value to the company, you will ask a manager, hey, can I be a part of this new project that is coming up? Wherein me, who just like a close person, I want to do the job at hand and just go home, I would say, okay, this has been asked of me, I'll do that. So the distinguishing factor between you and me is my mindset. You are a growth mindset person and I'm here happy and content with what I'm doing currently. So mindset is very important when it comes to growth.
Okay. And HR is sometimes unfairly reduced to surface level tasks, festivities, emails, or office aesthetics. Like
don't forget the Rangoli. Yes.
Yeah, Rangoli and potluck. But while the deeper works, they stay invisible. So HR professionals are often perceived as being more about festivities rather than strategy or impact. How do you view this perception, and what's the biggest misconception people have about HR that you would wish to change?
What I would love people to think is what they see on the surface. As I said, it's absolutely surface level. Something that is visible is not what always everybody do, right? There's something called as people working behind the scene, and HR is that force who most of the time you see working behind the scenes. Maybe I would recommend those people who think, okay, what exactly does this HR does, right? Maybe ask a couple of questions. Who decide how much you get paid for?
Correct.
Who think that are you a right fit for the company? Who think what kind of skills do you need to develop and how do we train you for the upcoming new challenges, industry changes? Who makes sure if you're leaving, do to keep you as a resource or to let you go? Who decide whether you are a right fit for the company? Who decide your promotions? Who decide if you are a talent who can potentially become a leader in the future? So if you answer this question for yourself, you will know that HR is not just what you see on the surface. It's a lot of strategic part of your own journey at corporate, right from the start where you receive the first phone call saying, hey, are you looking for this job? Till the time saying it was pleasure having you here with the organization, the entire cycle that you spend with the company, at every touch point, you know that the HR is playing a role to make sure your journey is smooth with the organization.
HR is the backbone of
Absolutely. You said it so well.
For students and fresh graduates, the early years of a career can feel confusing. Torn between becoming really good at one thing or staying flexible in a fast changing job. This is a question I have myself. From a student's point of view, what matters more in the first few years of a career? Mastering one skill deeply or being adaptable and learning more multiple skills?
That's again a very good question. I think you have done a fantastic job in curating this question. As a fresher, imagine you are coming with no baggage, fresh slate, open to learn, being curious, taking on anything that's coming your way. If imagine yourself keeping closed and saying, I'll only do this because this is my interest. In the long run, you keep doing the same job, you keep growing in the same field, you keep meeting the same people. And on the contrary, there's another person who have no baggage and say, yeah, yes, I will try this something new. I will meet new people. Let me attend this. Let me learn this. Now, imagine your journey 5 years from now and imagine my journey 5 years from now. If I ask you, I am somebody who have learned 10 new things because I was always new to try new things. I have built my network of 20 new people from different industries. I have got 3 more new assignments which are very different from the job I do. If I look at myself, I am a professional in an HR field with a decent understanding of, let's say, finance, business, and also at the same time, let's say how the operations on ground work. Right? On the contrary, somebody who stick to the routine will always be looked after as somebody who is strictly bounded by the role that they hired for. No extra knowledge, no network, only the people in their team knows it. If I go to a leader and say, hey, if you want to take someone on your assignment, who would you bring on? And now you all know the answer. The leader will always say somebody who have a greater network and a greater potential to connect with the people from different companies, different stakeholders, rather than somebody who was just bounded by their roles. So if you ask me what you should be doing, don't restrict yourself. Say yes to every opportunity. Say yes to every new chance that you have to learn new skills. It's not always necessary you will succeed at the first chance, but that's what it is. Best part of being a fresher is you either succeed or you learn. There is no losing in it. So you succeed or you learn. And both are like a win-win to you. So just say yes to every opportunity.
That's nice. And as you said, you're super well accomplished, and one of the things that you're accomplished in is DEI. And DEI.
Yeah.
And DEI conversations in India often borrow global language. But the lived realities here, caste, class, gender roles, regional identities, and access, these add layers that aren't openly discussed at work.
Yeah.
When working with DEI initiatives in India, what practical or cultural challenges did you encounter, and how did you adapt global DEI ideas to make them meaningful locally?
As the DEI itself says, right, it's all about diversity and how do we include people in our organizations. The context of Indian diversity is very different from what global looks like, right? We just saw the Trump effect recently when Trump in US said, hey, No more DI agenda. No more people hired for diversity. We just hire people on merit. Because in US, the definition of diversity is way different for what definition in India looks like. For India, people literally have to struggle right from the right to education. Maybe I come from a privileged family where I had this right to educate myself, go to a college, sit in an AC room, study at my own pace. But somebody in a rural India may not have the same access. So for us in India, it's, as you correctly said, it's the diversity of thoughts, it's the diversity of experience, it's the diversity of gender, ethnicity, language that you speak, your economical status. Somebody is going to be lesser privileged than us. So do you see, is there any harm of giving that extra edge? When I say extra edge, I'm not saying being partial. Assume we all are on the racing track, right? And you all have seen there's this marking 1, 2, 3, right? And you see there's somebody at the start, somebody at the second, and somebody at the third, right? There's like a slant line. If I say that you have to come at college at 10 o'clock, and I also have to come to college at 10 o'clock, but I am a married woman who have a kid at home, who I drop a kid at school at 9 o'clock, and I still manage to come at college for 10 o'clock because I want to grow in my own career. And she have, and again, I'm so sorry, I'm just pointing at you, but she come from a little privileged family, where her family keeps her breakfast ready, everything is set, the clothes are ironed, all she have to do is just pack her bag and come to college. Is life fair to both of us? No. She coming to college make it any less important than me coming to college? No. We are both equally showing up. But as an organization or maybe as a school, what I would have loved is that the college still allow me, okay, they consider my aspect that, okay, I have family to take care of, or maybe I'm traveling from far distance. I remember during my college days, there used to be students who used to travel from Pain. Yes, in Vidyalankar itself, there used to be people traveling from Pain. And to be very honest, coming from privileged family, I didn't know how far it was. And I was like, why do you always show up late? And when I realized, I used to start, looking at this person, how do you even manage coming to this college? So I think we all need to consider that there's something called equality, giving everybody the same treatment. And then there's something called equity, which is like giving exact support to people where they need it. So giving the extra benefit of the student showing a little 5 minutes late because he's literally catching 2 trains or maybe running to the college will not make you less human. So DI is very different here. In US, it's all about LGBTQI, gender diversity, black women, black men. So it's a lot different. So we need to have context when you're talking about DI in India.
This being such a sensitive topic, I think you're navigating it super well.
Yeah, thank you so much.
My last question. The transition from campus to corporate life can be overwhelming, especially with AI competition and constantly shifting expectations. Lastly, what advice would you give freshers entering the workforce?
I think the youngsters going in new corporates, they're having this one thing that I would love to learn from them is that they ask the question, why and why not? Which I think I was not bold enough to ask when I was a fresher. I was just happy with the fact that somebody is hiring me. But now as HR and as DI champions, we are sometimes nervous that, we are hiring this Gen Z and they're going to ask us bold and tough questions. They're going to ask us, what extra policies do you have? How are you supporting the new talent in the companies? They're going to ask us, what are your working hours looking like? How is working from anywhere or work from home policies look like? So it's no more an easy task for us. So I would recommend that just keep that spirit up. Keep asking bold questions. Keep asking what and how the organization is going to support you, because that's really what they appreciate about the newer generation these days, that you're bold, you know what your rights look like, and you have the right skill set to bring to the table, because you're no more carrying that baggage of this is how a corporate freshie should look like. So I think stay bold is what I'm going to say. Stay bold.
But do you think that sometimes HRs or the elders in the workforce in general might get offended to such boldness or might get off-put or upset by this?
Interestingly, we also spoke in today's workshop something called as the framework Humble, Hungry, Smart, which we say HSS. So who's the ideal team member, right? So when we hire people, we don't just hire people who are bold and arrogant. We look for people who are humble, hungry, and smart. So what basically this says is, if you're humble, but not too humble to say that everybody will get the job done through you. You're humble enough to be lesser rude, polite, human, and respectful towards someone else, then you are an ideal fit for the company. If you're hungry, that means you ask curious questions, you are open to learnings, you are taking accountability, you want to do more, give more, then you're hungry. And then you're smart. When it says smart, not just skillful, but also, emotional intelligence smart. So when you mix of this all three, then that's what makes you an ideal team member. So if somebody is hiring you, trust me, they've already seen these three things in you, and that's why they know that you are going to be an ideal fit. You are humble, hungry, and still smart. So make sure that you have this thin line between humble, hungry, and smart, and being arrogant, know it all, and also I'm the smartest of the lot. So there's a thin line that you need to balance out, and you should be good.
To sum it up, headcounts count people, human capital creates impact. Same role, same degree, same salary doesn't mean same value. For companies, growth comes from hiring more people. And for students and freshers, the message is simple. Don't aim to get placed, aim to be valuable. Thanks for listening. See you in the next episode.